Foster many years ago in 1994, the first time he ran. I know this has been a tough campaign. I know he's a tough campaigner. I also know we have the issues, we have the values on our side, and if we can get people to come out and vote, 2 days from now, Rip is going to be victorious. And that's really as always, it's all about turnout, and we're glad you're here today to help us knock doors and go out and do that. But I'm now going to turn it over to the candidate himself.
Man of the hour. Thank you, Mary, for opening your home, and thank you all for being here. The first thing you learn as a candidate is that running for office is a team game. My name's on the sign, but it really should say Team Sullivan. It is just remarkable how many people over the course of the last, I guess it's 6 or 7 weeks, I lose track, have come out to help in large and small ways. It's very humbling. I've got a lot of old friends and family that have been helping. I've made a lot of new friends over the course of the last 6 weeks, and frankly I know that there are people I will never meet who've been out there knocking doors or making phone calls or helping in large and small ways. And so I'm very gratified to all of you for the work you've done and for what I think you're going to do over the next few days. There are a couple, you're all special, but there are a couple really special people I want to recognize who are here. Of course, Mary on the county board. Where's Walter? Walter Tejada. Alfonso. Where's Alfonso Lopez from the House of Delegates? Senator Barbara Favola, thank you, Barbara, for being here. Senator Holland, so Paul Holland. Ed Holland, and while I'm talking about Paul Holland for a second, let me segue to something that's important to me. I've said it at a variety of different events over the course of the last 6 weeks. As you all know, the primary in this race lasted a grand total of 6 days, one of which was a Sunday, Election Day, if we can believe it. Who votes on a Sunday, right? The other of which was July 4th, a national holiday. So it was a whirlwind week, designed, I believe, to make it difficult for the Democrats to come up with a candidate. It was a whirlwind week, but I have to tell you, I have never been more proud to be a Democrat than I was that week. To watch Arlington and Fairfax Democrats come together and to watch 7 great Democrats, I guess I should say 6 great Democrats and me, throw their hats in the ring and run really spectacular races over the course of 6 days. I think back to that forum we had and the debate we had, and sort of a lineup of 7 great Democrats, which we were able to come up with literally overnight. And I flash and compare that to some of the stages you've seen over the years with lots and lots of Republican candidates that frankly just don't stack up. Mm-hmm. And I was never more proud to be on the stage with those people, and some of them are here. Paul Holland. Yasmin Taib right over here. Jackie Wilson. It has been enormously gratifying to have their support and the support of all the other candidates in the race. Like Democrats do, we have come together over the course of the last 6 weeks because we believe in and share the values that unite us as a party and as voters of the 48th District. It's my great pleasure to introduce this gentleman to my right here, Mark Sickles. Yeah. Before I do that, let me just say one word about Tuesday, and then we'll get to Tim. This is really a sort of shoe leather election. I've been knocking doors. I've been calling. I know you've all been knocking doors. You've been calling. This is about turnout. I have one of my passions over the years has been voter protection issues and voter registration issues and such. I view this race as one big voter suppression effort out of Richmond. There's just no question that the Speaker of the House had other options available to him. He was the guy who got to set the schedule for this election. He had other options available to him, including setting this in November. But I am convinced that they were hoping that a combination of a one-week primary and some, shall we call it election fatigue in Arlington? Right? Anybody agree with me? There's some election fatigue. It's like an election a month, right? If Kip were here, he'd confirm that. As well as the timing. The dead of August. Who's going to roll out of bed on a Tuesday morning in August and think, election day, right? Half of the district's going to be at the beach. The other half is taking their kids off to college. It is designed to keep vote turnout low because that is their strategy for hoping to snatch this election from us in the dead of summer. I have great confidence that people are going to remember to vote, that you all are going to remember to vote. I need you to be knocking on doors and calling people. Call your friends, your family, drag people in off the street on Tuesday. We need to push turnout. I have a memory of a case I learned about in law school, which gives me a nightmare every once in a while these days. It involved a young woman who was assaulted in New York City in broad daylight in the courtyard of a giant housing complex. So hundreds, indeed thousands of people watched this happen. An assault in broad daylight, and no one called the police. And people were shocked by this, and the headlines were what an uncaring city New York was. But they went back in and they started to interview people. I think they sent a bunch of sociologists in to interview people, and they started to ask, why didn't you call the police? And to a person, the response was, well, I assumed someone else would. I didn't think I needed to call, I assumed my neighbor would, or the lady down the hall. And as a result, nobody called the police. And what we can't have on Tuesday morning is people waking up and thinking, that's a Democratic seat, other people will vote, I got other things to do, I don't need to vote. We need everyone to vote on Tuesday morning. And I know you folks are committed to helping me do that, and I am enormously grateful for your help on that.
Before you go to Tim, Alan House is here.
Alan, I did forget Alan. Where's Alan House?
Our Democratic.
I'll echo what you just said, because we know that when folks come out and vote, that we win elections and we need everybody out in a special election more than ever.
There is no. One of the things I've been sensitive about in this entire election is, again, part of the Speaker's strategy, right? The date on this, I'm stepping on Don's election, I'm stepping on Alan's election. Over on the Fairfax side, there are a couple precincts that are in John Faust's district. Mark's running, of course, and so I'm very sensitive to that. Alan has a very important election, which starts on August 20th, right? I'm going to get a good night's sleep on August 19th, and then on August 20th, I and others, everyone in this room, I hope, will be out working for Alan House. So this guy doesn't have to run this year.